Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
Right, it's the podcast take 2, because we have recorded it, and then I was shutting down and I said, I think I've just shut down.
You became too efficient.
I was efficiently shutting down, ready to hand over to Neil, who's coming into the studio in a minute. So this is the second option. DJ, you get to repeat what you just said if you can remember.
It's funny. Oh, you'll hear on today's podcast, we talk about the pop-in. We talk about the concept of the pop-in on the back of my crazy in-laws, if you were listening yesterday, but we'll get into it on the show.
Yeah.
And we had some interviews. It's been busy down here today, so I've raced upstairs to get working up there. And then you reminded me, we didn't record the podcast. So I've come back for a pop-in. And then that pop-in got deleted, and now this is a second pop-in.
So it's 2 pop-ins in a row. It's very confusing, but thankfully the show's not confusing. It's been fun today.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. We got some great stuff. You're going to enjoy the show and the conversation. AJ Spurr giving us some great information, and we'll flag this one. We'll flag this one for anybody out there, because I know people have some strong opinions for and against, or even some experience to point us in the right direction.
Yes.
You'll hear the story here. AJ and I are giving ourselves our own personal challenge about getting into, ready for this, a flotation tank. Like one of those, deprivation flotation tanks.
Like a tiny little pool.
Yeah.
It has a cover over it, I think. I've never done it, but I think I've seen photos of it.
So the challenge is she's going to try to do it before she catches up. I'm going to try to do it before, because I've always wanted to do this. And so we're going to get onto that. So if you've had any experience, let us know. But the one thing I did want to make a note of, real clear to all the Vision family, 2 quick messages. Since I came back yesterday from, over a couple months away, 2 things we got to make a note on. And the first one, and all the lovely kind messages that have come in, is that, Phil, you've done an absolute stellar job of keeping the ship aright as you've been sailing on the rough seas by yourself with different first mates coming and going, on here. And there's been so many lovely messages coming in,
thank you.
Congratulating you and saying you've done a great job while I've been away.
Thank you.
Big hand claps for that. Hooray, hooray, hooray. And then secondly, I just need to acknowledge everybody reaching out yesterday, dropping in messages and all these lovely things, saying, it's great to have you back. Thank you for reaching out. It is lovely to be back, and it's lovely to hear from you.
Yes.
Some people were concerned that I've come back too soon because they've had shoulder injuries.
Yes.
I'm doing this all with the doctors. Trust me, I would not be allowed into this building, and I don't mean that, lightly. The management and HR would not let me in here if I didn't have every box ticked.
They're very careful.
Oh, very careful. And I'm not doing any heavy lifting or anything like that.
No.
Still getting the physio.
We haven't even got you on the desk, so there's no real movement. You just have to move one hand for a mouse and your mouth.
Exactly.
And thankfully, the mouth is not connected to
and
the
microphones aren't that
much.
heavy.
No.
So I'm okay. So rest assured, still healing up. I'm still doing all the physio, still looking after myself. And so thank you to all the lovely kind messages on behalf of Phil and I from everyone saying the both things. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. But let's get into the podcast. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for downloading and listening. We'll see you soon.
Rise and shine with Fel and DJ on Vision Christian Radio.
And it's a Tuesday, so we've got Tony.
The man with the glorious head of hair here from the newsroom.
That's nice, isn't it, Tony?
I'm just jealous. I'm just jealous over here. But Tony, you've been working hard on that news desk. Have you got any stories that'll encourage us this morning?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to talk about a missionary doctor called Dr. Ken Elliott.
Okay.
Devout Christian. And he and his wife, Jocelyn, when they were young, he'd just graduated from university, and they felt that they were called to work overseas. They said they felt Australia had enough doctors. Right. So they set off for Africa, West Africa, and for 44 years they worked in a hospital that they set up themselves in the very poor country of Burkina Faso.
Okay.
Now, the town where they were was called Jibo, and the main form of transport in this town was a donkey and cart. It's that, it's that poor. And they just felt to pray that God would provide everything they needed to run a hospital so that they could treat everybody. And this was like a lot of Muslim people were in this town. And so they did that. They had 3 children of their own. They went there with 3 little kids themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they opened this hospital, and they became known, or Ken became known as the doctor of the poor. And because he would perform surgeries for free. And people from all around neighbouring countries flocked to this little place,
Amazing.
which was very difficult to get to, no highways or anything. And he did a wonderful job there, and he became a citizen of Burkina Faso, an honorary citizen, because the government was so impressed with him.
Sure.
The people loved him. Nearly every family was impacted by his work.
Wow.
And a lot of his surgery, even though a lot of it was self-taught, they had amazing results, and people were healed. And he just became a legend in this town.
And they've been doing that in that town since 1972.
That is correct.
And then something happened in 2016.
That's right. They were kidnapped by these Islamic extremists related to Al-Qaeda. And they were just taken at gunpoint from their home. No, they just went quietly. His wife, Jocelyn, was released about 3 weeks later. But for Ken, he had to spend 7 years and 4 months in captivity in the Sahara with boiling days, freezing nights. His diet was awful. He couldn't eat the sticky rice they gave him, so he didn't really get much to eat.
Oh, no.
I remember because fast forward to the end. Good news, he's been released. He's been released, hooray.
Well, Tony was fully up to that.
But the great thing is, one of the amazing stories is reading something that he was saying was, he said, I've only in one case in all my history seen a case of scurvy, and that was me.
Yes, that's
While
right.
he was in captivity.
He got scurvy.
Yeah,
because
really
there was no vitamin C in his diet.
Yeah.
And he couldn't even walk. He could barely crawl.
Yeah.
Because all the blood went into his legs, and he was just virtually paralysed until one of the leaders of the captors brought along some vitamin C so that he could survive a bit longer. And I guess they could negotiate some release deal.
Wow.
But we didn't really know about this until he was released last year.
Amazing.
We only just found out about it last year.
Incredible.
But we still didn't know many details about him. But last week he gave an interview to the ABC's Foreign Correspondent program, which it had a little bit of the Christian side of what he did. Not a lot, but I'd like to know a lot more about what he
I'll have
prayed
to get you an
for.
interview, Tony.
Yes. We'll have to see if he want to. But he's been very reluctant to talk. But he spoke to Foreign Correspondent because they went there in 2017, and did a story on him, but they weren't allowed to run it because the Australian government felt it could impact on Ken's fate. Exactly.
I see.
And so it wasn't until then that he was released, and he's now living in Perth. I think his greater family is there in Perth as well at the moment. But he says, I survived because of everybody's prayers.
Amen.
And he got scurvy. He also got bitten by scorpions 20 times, and the scorpion bite is excruciatingly painful. Luckily, they weren't fatal. But the amazing thing is that he survived, and only God could be with him.
Amen.
Because here's the bottom line: Ken Elliott is now 89.
Wow.
He was released when he was 88. He was taken when he was 81.
Wow.
He survived. It's just a miracle.
Yeah.
And his story is unbelievable.
Wow. If you want to hear the rest of the story, I'm sure we can go to the Vision website.
Yes.
Vision.org.au. Jump into the news and you can read the rest of that story. Tony, that's so exciting. I think we've still got time for a little bit more if you can hang around.
Yes, I'll have a little one coming up.
More from Tony coming up after this. So Tony from the newsroom, storyteller. That could be your theme song there, Tony.
Yes. Now, this next story has a musical element. Now, DJ, you've heard of 3 Doors Down.
Yes. Anybody who was following popular music in the late 90s, early aughts, 3 Doors Down, big American rock band, huge hits, Kryptonite, Here Without You was another one. Yeah. But anyway, yes, all over the place. Not a Christian band.
No, not a Christian band. And they've sold 30 million records, albums.
Wow.
They've sold 30 million albums, which is quite phenomenal. I must admit, I haven't really heard of them very much.
No, Tony, I'm with you, so we're all good.
But now they're not a Christian band, but recently they've been preaching the gospel
Oh, wow.
at their concerts. And now you look at them and they're sort of big muscly guys and got a few tats, long hair. And the only thing that makes them different is that the lead singer, Brad Arnold, usually has a big Jesus T-shirt or Yeshua T-shirt or Yeshua T-shirt. And so that gives them away a little bit.
Okay.
But he would interrupt his concerts, and this is what he did recently at a Pennsylvania concert.
Yeah.
He said, I feel like he was about to sing a song all about depression called Away from the Sun.
Yeah.
Yes, DJ knows it. And he said, I feel like I can identify with this song more than most of our songs. The world surrounds us with the message, we'll never be good enough. We'll never be strong enough. We'll never be beautiful enough. We'll never be rich enough. And nobody really, really loves us. My friends, I just want to take a second to tell you that's an absolute lie. You are loved, you are enough, and you will win. Repeat after me. I am the one that Jesus loves. Amen, my friends. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
Just a brief message, but and now these are probably mostly non-Christian fans in the audience, and surprisingly, they all cheered, or not all of them, but I guess most of them cheered and applauded him. And there was one Pennsylvania website said that it was a truly moving monologue, and he probably does this at a lot of his concerts. Now they grew up as Christians. They're from the southern state of Mississippi, and they all come from that Christian background. They're quite conservative. They played at the inaugurations of both the Bush presidents and President Trump. Wow. So they've got a big Better Life Foundation where they do a lot of good works for people, especially children in the South, and especially during the Katrina disaster in New Orleans. And Brad, he also posts quite a bit on social media. And just recently he said, as the kids head back to school in America, where the school year is just about to start, many prayers for all the kids headed back to school. And he posted Deuteronomy 31:6. Don't be afraid. The Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you.
I love that. Well done.
I think we've got some assignments here. You're going to chase down Ken Elliott for an interview. I'll chase down Brad Arnold from 3 Doors Down, and we'll both get some interviews here. What's happening behind the scenes.
And we'll get a lot of listeners.
Love it, Tony. Hey, thank you so much for coming on down and sharing out, some of the news floating across your news desk.
Across Australia, this is Rise and Shine with Fel and DJ on Vision.
And we're very excited because I have a champion-winning mum zooming over. I've been following you on Facebook, AJ, and not only I know we've got something to talk about that's like devotional, but you've had a very exciting weekend in the sport arena. Tell us about that.
Oh, my goodness. 2 boys, 2 grand finals.
Oh, my goodness.
2 victories.
Oh. Wow.
Actually, that's the best possible outcome with 1 victory and 1 defeat. How would you have handled that? My goodness.
Oh, and then we went back to the club to celebrate, and I won the meat tray. So,
so you are a winner as well.
So barbecue at AJ's place. That's what we're saying.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Oh, that is fantastic.
So it has just been the most incredible weekend to see your kids doing what they love and doing it well and doing it with people that they love being around. There's just nothing better. It's just been the most wonderful experience the whole season together, and to come away with both of them at 2 grand finals and 2 wins. Anyone that participates in sports knows how rare it is to make it to a grand final, let alone to win one. It's an incredible privilege to have been part of it.
AJ, you're so good. I've missed you so much. I don't have a sporting bone in my body. Right. And therefore, my poor boys have sort of missed out on the sporting. Benita's the same. But when I hear people like you talk about their football clubs, talk about their tennis clubs, talk about their soccer clubs, and talk about the family element, the camaraderie, what their kids are learning, I go, maybe we did miss a trick on these ones here. I love your passion and for your family and the sporting club. It's so good.
Oh, yeah, I am totally a footy mum until today. I am now a cricket mum.
Yes, and that I think is the incredible thing about mums, because I've got lots of friends who do that, and they switch from one sport to the next, particularly if you make finals, because there's a little bit of a, like they start cricket already. We're already at cricket practice, but you're still footballing, and it's you're jumping from one to the next. And different groups of families. Do the boys, because I find during the season you get to know your family so well, then you change sports, you've got a different group of friends and
sporting club,
it's different communities. It's beautiful though.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just love that too. They've got all these different groups of friends that all just enjoy each other's company and share a love for the same sport as well. I think it's so great when you meet people that share your passion. It's such a blessing. So,
Well, something else that we love your passion for is the Word of God. So tell you what, how about we listen to a song that I think actually really means you. Faithful Still is the song with Seventh Time Down, and come back with a devotion. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Wonderful. Well, here it is. Coming up after Faithful Still, we'll have some more of AJ. You're on Vision.
And we've got the lovely AJ in the building. Now, AJ, I'm just contemplating what you were talking about before with sporting parents and non-sporting parents. I've raised these kids who are not into sport and they're into different stuff. My youngest is that, that arty, film-loving, music-loving weirdo. He's a very just kid, loves the Lord with all of his heart. But his idea of fun, and this is something he's discovered completely on his own, and he's taking his friends from high school there, is the flotation tank. He's discovered in town, in where we live, in town, there's this place that has flotation tanks. They change the water and it's all the salt water and everything. And you go in there in isolation and you float by yourself for an hour. You can listen to some nice music or relaxing music or listen to nothing and just go. He thinks it's the greatest spiritual experience ever with the Lord. He just prays and off he goes. So far, all of the friends that he's taken in with there is like they've lasted half the amount of time.
Oh, wow.
And gone, no, we'll meet you down at the car park later on. We can't handle this, but he is just loving it. That's that's what I get without sporting kids involved.
Yeah, I love that. And that is so true. And that was the experience that a friend of mine had recently. She actually took her daughter to do one of those flotation tank experiences.
Yeah.
And it is, the water's not deep. It's not even knee deep. And it's, salt water. So it is just it's just you in darkness, you and your thoughts floating in a tank, which sounds divine. But her daughter couldn't last the whole hour. Being alone with your thoughts. was and I get that, and I love that you've shared that too about the other young people, and I would love to actually know, could I do it? I think that's a great challenge.
Wonder.
Well, I'm next on his list of invites. He's like, Dad, you've got to come with me. He's even said, Dad, I'll pay for it. Come with me, and I reckon you could last an hour. And I'm like, I'll go to sleep in there. I'll be away with the Lord straight away.
Yeah. And I think it sounds like it's really easy, but I know when I studied at School of Prophets, part of the homework was that in the morning we would have our quiet time and read the scripture, and then we were to lie still for up to half an hour and just say, okay, Lord, what do you want to say to me? And then just lie in silence for half an hour. You would be surprised at how difficult that is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your thoughts just run wild, and you don't realize that you're thinking a million thoughts all at once until you try not to. And then you realize, there's so many things going through your mind. And even as the Lord's putting an idea in your mind, suddenly that, reminds you, I've got to do the dishes and I've got to do this. And, it's swirled around. And, certainly for my friend with her daughter, she'd been through a really difficult season recently. Something really terrible had happened to her. And so being alone with her thoughts in the flotation tank was actually really confronting for her. So sometimes it can be a matter of, well, where are my thoughts going? And as in 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5, I've got the King James Version here, and it says, we cast down all imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. And that is so powerful. And I think, the devil, he's the accuser, and he just throws all these thoughts at you and tries to make you think they're your own, and they're not. And that's why the Bible says to take every thought captive and filter them out and say, is this thought of the Lord? Is this thought helpful for me? Is this thought for my betterment, for the betterment of people around me if I share it? If it's not from the Lord. It's not your thought. Cast it out. And as Martin Luther King said, I can't stop birds flying over my head, but I can stop them from building a nest in my hair. And that is such a great life skill to develop. And especially when you are going through a really difficult time and dark thoughts can be going through your mind. And the idea of being alone with your thoughts can be really daunting. But when you, you've cast your focus on God and seek his thoughts, it really is a deeply peaceful experience. And an hour alone in a flotation tank with the thoughts of God. Wow. Imagine what the world would be like if we all invested time in just, not even walking out for a flotation tank, but just doing what I was training myself to do through School of Prophets. Just, after you have got up and read your Bible, so you're not going to fall back asleep again. That's a dangerous time when you've just woken up and gone, oh, okay, I'm going to think the Lord's thoughts now. No, you're going to go to sleep if you do that. Make sure you are awake.
Practical.
AJ, I think we've got a challenge to each of us here. Sounds like both of us, our pathways are leading to a flotation tank. Let's see who can do it first. By the next time you're with us, let's see if one of us can get into that flotation tank first.
Yeah. Challenge accepted.
All right, let's go. All right, sounds like a plan.
And I love the challenge for anyone listening out there who doesn't have access to one, to even try and spend 5 minutes alone. I think that's a key too, isn't it, AJ? Half an hour might seem like an eternity, but maybe you can give God 5 minutes to begin with.
Start small and work out from there. It's like a muscle, and you do have to train it. And once I finished the School of Prophets course, of course, life gets busy again, and you forget to do it, and then trying to get back into it again. It really is a discipline. You've got to practice it.
A lot like those footy boys, now cricket boys. And AJ, we're so thankful. Praise God for your boys and praise God for that message. Thank you for your encouragement this morning. We'll see you back here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, look forward to it.
We'll be very relaxed because we'll have floated away. And
I hope so.
Thank you so much, AJ.
All right. See you guys.
Bless you.
Great conversations, fun, inspiration and more. Rise and shine with Fel and DJ on Vision.
And DJ, yesterday you were telling a bit of a story about your in-laws, a long drive, and the ultimate pop-in, really.
Yeah, they love the ultimate pop-in. I've married into a wonderful South African family and love my South Africans to death. How's it to all my South Africans? I'll be over for a braai and a babuti later on, but I don't know if it's. I haven't worked out. I'll put it this way. I've heard mixed reports from other South Africans that this is normal, and then I've had other South Africans saying this is just as crazy as we find it.
Well, it might not be a cultural thing then. It might just be a people thing.
It might be a people thing.
I think so.
It was my middle son's birthday last week. My in-laws live in Geelong. They drove 21 hours through the night to see him in the afternoon so they could surprise him for his 18th birthday.
That is very kind.
Ultimate
it's a long drive.
Now, I was reminded yesterday from other members of the family that is not their ultimate pop-in. They have gone to South Africa and to Canada and not told people that they're coming over for a visit and then done a pop-in over there. Literally walked. Imagine you're knocking on the door and here's our relatives from Australia. Not to stay.
Gee, that's pretty impressive.
But exactly. Just to pop in. So got the discussion going. Do we love a pop-in? Are we, are we the poppies? Are we the receiver of the pop-ins, or do you love? So, I personally, I'm open to both. I love it when I hear a knock on the door and I go there and it's someone who I wasn't expecting and they're in for a pop-in. Absolutely love it.
Right.
There has been a couple of times where I might be walking around with my boxer shorts on and it's the pastor and his wife and I go, just give me a second, let me get dressed over here.
Well, I think that's a good idea.
But other than that, but I also love it when I'm driving past someone and I know some people who will always love the pop-in as well and I can pop in on them. And
that's lovely.
But for others, you're saying no over there.
No, look, for family, I'm happy at any time. Mum and Dad, come on in, not a problem.
Yeah.
But our lives, we run a pretty tight ship with life, as in just managing. There is a lot happening in our world. If you pop in,
on the SS Murray and Fell ship over there,
you could be disappointed.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've given me notice, I will set time aside and we will have food and we will be organised, and so then I can really spend quality time. So I feel like if you pop in, you could be disappointed because we could all be popping out. Like we are coming and going, and I've got kids
but that's
going
the risk.
everywhere.
That's the risk that you play.
It is a risk.
That's a dice that you're throwing for the pop in. I love that feeling.
You can just text. Like nowadays, it's like literally we all carry our phones. Shoot me a text. Fel, are you home? Do you have 5 minutes? Look, how long does that take? 30 seconds. AI will do it for you. You can just talk and the phone will do it. It's more joyful because then I can go, actually, no, I'm happy to say not now. Tomorrow would be good or later on.
Okay. I got a feeling there's not many of us left who love a pop in on both sides. But I reckon we open up the phone lines here.
I think we need Australia's voice.
I'd love to know if there's some sort of spiritual application to this as well. Is there some sort of spiritual thing here with the pop-in?
Well, thankfully God doesn't mind a pop-in.
Yeah.
At any moment, any time, he is there waiting. In fact, it says, come on into the throne room of grace to find help in time of need. He's like, pop on in. Anytime, any place. I'm thankful for God. Put him on the yes.
Okay, well, I'm very happy to be on that side of the ledger with Christ in that case there. So I'm over there. But let us know what you think. 1-800-316-316. Pop in, yes or no. You can even shoot us a text, 0447 488 316.
We'll get you singing it. Almost there.
Almost
Look,
there.
here's Lockie's version.
I like this.
So you can, this is the singing one.
Yeah.
0447 488 316. That's the number that you text for the Rise and Shine breakfast team.
Okay.
Program that in your phone. Give us a text right now. And while you do that, we're going to have a listen to the number 2 song in the country. It's Toby Mac with Nothing Sweeter. Let us know what you think of the pop in on Rise and Shine.
Toby Mac, Nothing Sweeter. Woo. And maybe there's nothing sweeter than a pop-in to you.
Hey, that's my new theme song for the pop-in there. I like it. I like it. Toby Mac giving us their Nothing Sweeter. So far, we're making a list who loves a pop-in.
Yes.
Either receiving a pop-in or being the poppy, I guess it is, who's walking in and knocking on the door.
So you've put yourself and God on the one side.
We love both.
You love a pop-in?
We're open to anybody to pop in, and we'll pop into you unannounced any time. We love
dear.
it.
Well, don't pop into the limits. We might be popping out and you'll miss us all together. But we have put out the call 1-800-316-316. Do you love a pop-in? We've got GT on the line.
How you going?
Yeah, good. How's Warrnambool this morning?
Yeah, a lot better, calmer, beautiful morning. So I think most of the SES crews finished jobs late last night, so hopefully they're going to be rested up either today or tonight, so that'll be great.
Amazing.
Awesome.
So I used to be a black and white person on when there's a situation, it was either black or it was white.
Yes.
With this business of dropping in, I think a lot comes down to the way you're brought up.
Oh, okay,
now,
yeah.
In the olden days,
Yes.
it used to be considered a gift of love to drop in unexpected and
Yeah.
unannounced.
Yeah.
And it used to be considered a gift of love that you used to always, and my parents are old-fashioned, bring you up to basically take a gift, right?
Yes.
Right.
A lot of that doesn't happen anymore.
Yep.
And I think that's why we're having and revisiting these topics.
Yeah.
That basically a lot of people in their busyness of the day don't like people dropping in unexpected.
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
to answer the question, my answer would be this. There are some people that you know really well
Yeah.
that you can get away with dropping in unexpected.
Yes.
And it would be considered, knowing their personalities, a blessing or a gift. There are other people that out of love and out of respect, you need to ring ahead and basically say, hey, listen, was thinking of you today, done a casserole or whatever. Is it all right to bring that around and have a quick chat?
Oh, love it.
I love
it. Very, very wise advice there,
Yep.
GT. How you know everybody. Well, listen, you're allowed to pop past any time my place with that casserole. I'll say yes.
No worries. My wife is a sensational cook.
Oh, you'd
I
stop
got
it.
home from SES,
Yeah.
whole heap of beautiful little quiches and special sausage rolls. And the quiche, I had one for brekky this morning. And
wow.
it was sensational.
All right, well, you're allowed to pop into my place anytime. You might have to give Phil a call, but that'd be
No,
great.
if you bring food, there's a whole new rule.
Love it, GT. Hey, you once again, thank you so much for your call, and drive safe out there.
Thank you, and thanks for your radio station. We love it. So
Bless you,
take care.
mate. Bless you. Thanks, GT.
See ya. Bye.
Sounds like he's GT. You sound like you're dropping out there. I hope everything's all good. So GT's giving us that wise advice. It really depends on how well you know
Well,
someone.
I think the wise advice there was bring food. And you'll be welcomed.
Wait a
And
minute.
you know
So-
what? There's something in that.
So have we got a caveat now? Have we got a caveat that if you are allowed to do a
bring
pop
like
in
a lasagna or
to Phil
something.
if you bring in a lasagna with you?
Well, you know, that does change the things up a bit, don't you think?
Okay. I've heard that the old adage for single women, the shortcut to a man's heart is through his stomach. You bring the food there, but you're just saying for the Limmer household, and
I think there are plenty of households who would agree with me there. That is just across the board. If you
Yeah.
have teenagers, bring food.
can't go wrong. There's
can't go wrong.
nothing better than someone pops up on your doorstep and look what's in their hand. They've got a Boston bun or an apple pie or something like that. We're definitely not saying no to that.
No way, indeed. Well, look, we want your opinion. That's what we think. I'd love to know what you think.
It's going to be good when you pop into someone's place. I say that's my motto in
Sure,
life.
why not?
But we're talking about the pop in on the back of my crazy in-laws doing, crazy interstate pop ins. What do you think? Do you love a pop in? Do you love popping into people? We're asking you for a call 1-800-316-316. We got the lovely Bernie in Harkness, Victoria. What do you think? Are you a pop? I couldn't guess, Bernie. Do you love a pop in, or do you want to get prepared first, or what do you think?
Go on, you guess. You know me, DJ.
Look, I reckon you'd love a pop in.
I love a pop-in.
Oh, I love you.
Now, what about?
I love it.
What about doing it the other way? Do you love being the poppy? Do you love popping in on other people unannounced?
I like to, but you see, this is the difference. People say, call me first.
Yeah. They want some
do
preparation.
tend to.
What about family?
For whatever reason.
Is it different for family? Can you pop in on your kids, on relatives and stuff like that? Is it different to other people?
Not my children, because they're in that new age thing of you've got to text first or you've got to call.
New age. Yes.
I can pop in. I can pop in to my children if I text. If I ring when I'm at the door, and they'll say, "Yeah, you can come in or you can't." There's all these rules. Too many rules.
Oh, there.
But my siblings. My brother and sisters, I'm in the middle of 7. Well, they just love it too, because that's how we grew up.
Yeah.
You popped in and the back door was always open. You go, yoo-hoo!
Yep.
And you'd know whose voice it was. You know it was Dawn down the road or Tom up there or whatever.
Beautiful.
I think I was raised in a very similar way. The door was always open, and it was not uncommon for me to come home like I'm 19, I'm 20, I'm 18, I'm 25. I'd come home to my parents, and there's a couple of my friends who I had no idea that were coming over having a cup of tea with my mum and dad.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Because it was just the pop-in culture. So I guess it might be a little bit of that. It might be what you grew up with.
I think so, because Christian values, I welcome their home to anybody,
nice.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I'm trying to bring it back. I don't know how it will, but,
Give it a go, I'd say.
You and me, Bernie, we're bringing it back.
pop-in.
We're bringing it back.
Oh, well, Bernie, thank you so much. We're so glad you called and gave your opinion, adding to that side of yes, love it.
Okay. Thanks, Val. God bless you both.
Oh, God bless you too. God bless you too. All right, I'm putting you down on the ledger as a yes, a pop-in.
It's the best way to start your day.
Rise and shine.
With Phil and DJ on Vision.
Talking the pop-in.
I love a pop-in. I love both receiving the pop-in, as in like all of a sudden there's a knock at the door and someone has just popped in. It's so spontaneous and rare these days that it just excites me when someone pops in, especially when it's someone that you really want to see.
Old-fashioned fun.
Yeah, exactly. Good old-fashioned, off-the-phone fun. And I also love being the poppy, as in like driving someone's house and going, wonder if they're in. You know what? I'm just going to go knock on the
But
door.
what we're after is your opinion this morning. So we've put out the call, give us a buzz on 1800 316 316.
Oh, Belinda from Portland, what do you reckon?
We are popping in. We've always been a pop-in family.
Love it.
Unfortunately, we had a Siamese cat that didn't really like some people popping in.
Oh, I like that. Now, that's an interesting part of the story. Do pets like a pop-in?
Yeah. Cats maybe not so much.
Cats don't come across as a pop-in.
He sort of likes some people, but I do recall coming home one day after school to find my friend slammed up in the corner next to the telephone with the cat on the ground, Dutch was meowing at her.
Wow.
Trying to call her mum to come and pick her up, but each time she went to touch the phone, the cat...
Cat was not having that at all. No way.
That's hilarious.
No.
A guard cat.
No, yes, very much a guard cat. But yes, we're always a pop-in family, same as you guys. Come home, you never knew who was at the table with mum and dad.
Nice.
Now, do you Belinda, if you're doing, you're happy to have people pop into your place. What about you popping into others? Does that go down well?
I like to announce or say, look, I'm coming around, because some people don't like a pop-in.
A bit of emotional intelligence, I think, Belinda.
Yeah. Very smart,
look,
wise.
They may have a pop-in dog that doesn't really appreciate it.
Exactly. Who knows what pet could be waiting for you?
Yeah.
So it's a smart move, actually.
I like it. Hey, Belinda, thank you so much for your opinion on the pop-in.
No worries. Have a great day. God bless.
God bless you too, Belinda. I love that. A guard cat. Cats would make good pets for that, actually, because they are quite individualistic.
Yeah.
Not all of them. I mean, there's some beautiful cats out there.
They are, yeah,
we haven't done a cat versus dog thing for a while, but
we won't.
They would make a
slip
good
into
guard
that.
animal.
I wasn't factoring the pets with the pop-in, but now that I'm thinking about it,
we've got a dog, but JJ's more of a licker.
Yeah.
He's a lover, not a hater, so he'd probably encourage it.
Exactly, but it does make me remember. I had a friend a while ago in Sydney, and I did the pop-in, and the dog nearly bit my head off.
Of course. Well, that's its job.
It was a monster dog. It was one of those monster dogs that they could not tame. It was a young dog. And I thought, well, I'm not popping into there anymore.
Oh, well, if you don't like the pop-in, get a bigger dog is what I'm learning from this. Look, we would love your opinion this morning.
Very simple question. The pop-in. Do you love an unannounced guest? Do you love being the poppy? Let us know. I can see right now we've got Jane in Brisbane. Jane, here's the question. Phil and I going to pop in after the show. What do you say?
Absolutely. Anytime.
Love it, Jane. So you love getting a pop-in unannounced at your place. What about the other way? Do you like popping into other people's places?
Well, look, I'm a bit like what's been said already this morning. Sometimes you are conscious of other people's busy lives. So, yes, throw them a text. Look, I'm just passing. I did it last week. I'm just passing. Are you home? I'd love to drop in. Dropped in on an elderly lady, and it just made her day.
That's nice.
Oh, you just made my day. You know?
That's great.
And then I went past the same area. I went past my old neighbour's place. Hadn't seen him for a long time. And I'd been through a couple of times to say hi, but they'd never been home. He was home. His wife passed away 12 months ago. And he wanted to talk to me for about an hour and a half. And I really feel that was a God thing.
Yes.
You know, I think God prompts you to go or not to go or text or but, you know, I grew up with an open house as well. So our house is always open.
Yeah.
You take me as you get me. And,
I love that, Jane.
Jane, I reckon you've put your finger on something really important that we often overlook. For that elderly generation, I mean, the younger generation wants a text, they want a message, they want something to let them know. The elderly generation didn't grow up with that. And I think we've got a lot of older, lonely people out there that would love a pop-in. And
absolutely.
Because the worst thing that happens is you knock on their door and if they go, I'm just heading out, well, that's okay. You make a time to pop back over. But
exactly.
It can,
as you've been thinking of them.
As you've experienced, it can change their whole day.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Beautiful.
So,
Oh, thank you, Jane.
guys.
Bless you, Jane.
Okay, you too. Thanks.
Sounds like we're doing a pop in at Jane's a little bit later on. Listen, we got time for a song. I think we got one more call we can get in. We need a definitive answer here. What is our response?
Chatting pop-ins all morning, but I think we're coming up to the news headlines. Probably time to finish it off.
Whoever's look, I can see here we've got Mary calling in from Dalby. Mary, we're going to let you have the definitive answer. Pop in or not pop in? What are we doing?
I'm very guilty of popping in on anyone.
There we go. And do they like it? Is the question. What's the response?
Beg your
like?
pardon?
Do they like the pop-in? Are you getting a good response from it?
Most times, yes.
Yeah. Because
Oh,
it's
there
you.
we go.
It's
Yeah.
Mary popping.
I love
Who
Mary.
wouldn't be happy with Mary popping?
There you
I'd
go.
be very happy.
Do you take something, Mary? Is that part of the etiquette?
I did yesterday. My friend's home looking after her grandsons, and one of them wasn't well.
Oh.
There's a lovely Bundaberg lemonade. It's like a cordial
Yes.
that's already made up.
Beautiful.
And he's had a sore throat, and I took some fruit that was on special.
Oh. See there, and I think that is the secret.
Yep.
If you're taking something with you,
Coming in with your hands full. Who's
love
going
it.
to say no?
Oh, beautiful.
Who's going to say
But
no?
I'm always welcome if I haven't got my hands full.
Oh,
sweet. That's the way it should be.
Now, what about
Some
the other side?
folding or ironing or mending, whatever.
Look at you.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so other putting the shoe on the other foot, Mary, you're sitting there minding your own business at home and all of a sudden there's a knock on the door. Are you loving a pop in?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Come
it
along.
goes both ways.
We'll,
Okay.
We'll jump to Dolby
and
then.
I had a mum
Mm.
who my brother's a doctor.
Yeah.
Now he would come from up in Brisbane, from St. Lucia down to Redcliffe, and we never knew who he was bringing with him, and Mum always provided.
Oh,
And I take my page out of Mum's book.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Great example.
Well,
great example.
Mary, you've closed off the discussion beautifully. Mary and her mum. We'll
Yep.
learn from Mary's mum.
Yeah. We'll be popping in a little bit later on today, Mary. How's that sound?
Bring some lemonade.
That sounds wonderful. I know how long it'll take you to get here. So
That's right.
most welcome.
That's
Too funny, too funny. Well, Mary, you've given us a definitive answer there. We're saying pop-ins. Are we saying it's the godly right thing to do?
No, we're not. We're
Okay.
just saying that is a good option. And I love this text that says God doesn't pop in. He's actually with us all the time.
Oh, okay.
So that is a
Oh.
beautiful finish to it. But
Rise and Shine with Felon DJ on Vision.
and it's that time of the morning where we hand over the reins to you to pick a song to take us into the day. But we've had a text come in. A little birdie has told us it's someone special's birthday. So we're going to give them a call
Sneaky call.
now.
Sneaky call.
Hopefully they answer.
Yeah.
Hello.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
dear
Nicolette.
We should have practiced this. Happy birthday to you.
Woo!
Happy birthday.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Well, you're
Yeah.
very kind, actually. But happy birthday.
Thank you.
Well, what have you got planned on this very special birthday?
Oh, what have I got planned? I'm going to the park this morning with a group of ladies from church.
Oh,
We have a regular Bible study on a Tuesday, so my birthday fell on the Bible study. So we're going to have a picnic in the park.
Oh, how good is that?
Yeah, and all the kids will run around and eat lots of yummy food.
Oh, yay.
Now I've heard. I got back to the offices yesterday, and I was chatting to everybody, and I heard from the tech team that you guys are about to, or at least Luke is about to do a massive trip with the techies, traveling all over. Are you going with him?
We actually just this morning decided that we are going to go.
Oh, well, then we can follow along. So we will be calling.
Yes.
That's pre-notice that we want to come to. So
Yes. Yep.
you'll have to give us regular updates. We can't wait.
Absolutely. It's going to be so fun.
Awesome.
Well,
you're our roving reporters. There we go. Luke, Nicolette and Abby on the tech team for Vision out there. Well, it is your birthday. We don't have a lot we can give you, but we can play you a song.
Yeah. Oh, well, that would be amazing.
All right.
Thank you.
What would you like?
I love Oh Happy Day by BB and Debbie Winans.
Do you know what I love is that Luke had texted and that was the song. He said, can you play this for Nicolette? And so you guys, he knows you so well. I love it. So definitely we will play that for you. And as we do, know that we're all sending you out all hugs from the Vision family, wishing you a wonderful birthday.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate you both. And DJ, I'm so happy to hear that you're back on Rise and Shine. That brings me a lot of joy. And Phil, you did so great over the last couple of months, having all the different hosts and things coming through. You did so well. It was such a joy to hear as the weeks went on. So I love you
Absolute
both.
champion. Absolute champion. Well,
Thanks,
the love
Nicolette.
is mutual. Nicolette, have a awesome birthday.
Thank
We
you,
won't ask
guys.
how old you're turning, but
Disclosed information
yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
Oh, she's wonderful. She'll be fine.
Exactly.
Awesome, Nicolette.
Turn this one up. This is a great song from the Winans. Absolutely love this one. Oh, happy day. Going out to all the birthday people, including Nicolette today. Happy birthday.
Thanks, guys.
I remember this, Andy. Never will forget this. My, it's like music to my soul. Oh, was a happy day. Hey.
That's BB and Debbie Winans. Happy day. It is a happy day, particularly because we know it's Nicolette's birthday.
What a song. What a song.
Happy birthday.
Love it. And love the fact that we're going to get Nicolette, little baby Abby, and hubby Luke. Now, Luke is one of our new techs here at, Roving Technicians, to looks after all the broadcast towers around Australia. They're going on a big road trip, and I'm going to treat them like our roving reporters on the road.
They're great at that job. So we can't wait. But look, that is all we have time for today. So we're going to hand you over to the rest of the Vision crew to see you through the rest of the day. We'll be back tomorrow, though, and it's Prayer and Praise Wednesday.
It is. The first Wednesday of the month is always our prayer and praise time. So if you've got a prayer request or a praise point, God's been doing something miraculous in your life, we would love to hear it tomorrow. So get that courage to give us a call tomorrow morning and we can pray and praise alongside you. But have a wonderful Tuesday, whatever you're up to. We'll see you in the morning.
Bye-bye.
It is your Happy Rise and Shine podcast robot. We love your audio messages, on the phone, via email, on social media, or even through the website. Send them to us and we will include them on the podcast. Like this one.
Hi, my name is Ellen, a supporter from SA. I just wanted to say welcome back to DJ and to let him know that I, amongst many, many other people, I've been praying for him while he's been away and we've missed him. And I want to say thank you to all of you for the wonderful job you do. God bless you all. Bye.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.